Good afternoon, everyone. It's time for Strat-O-Matic Baseball. Spokane Steve with you. Another wintry day, about 39, and rainy here in Spokane. Boy, I'm excited about today's game. We've got a marquee pitching matchup today here. It's Bob Gibson for St. Louis, Gaylord Perry for San Francisco. Both 21-game winners in '66. And so far, their stats have not disappointed. First, let's look at the teams. The Giants, 10-8, come into the game 2.5 games out of first place in the National League. St. Louis at 7-9 is 4.5 back. We'll go over the replay stats of these two starting pitchers. Bob Gibson in 3 starts has 2 complete games. He's 2-1 with a 2.16 ERA over 25 innings, 17 hits allowed, 18 strikeouts. Perry's made 2 starts. He's 1-0 with 1 complete game, a 2.65 ERA over 17 innings, 17 hits and 20 strikeouts. And hello, Kenyon, and welcome. A pleasure to have you as always. I particularly enjoy your enthusiasm and you're very active in the comment section. And, that means a lot to me. That's how we improve, is through comments. So it's good to hear both positive and constructive feedback. As you probably know, I'm fairly new at this streaming game. However, I'm not fairly new at Strat-O-Matic. Started playing in 1970. Although, before this project, it had been 25 years or so since I'd played with dice and cards, moving to the digital formats of the game. All fine games. Pick your poison, as they say. Let's get the lineups going, and we'll get the game underway. Leading off for St. Louis, Lou Brock, of course. Alex Johnson moves up to the 2 spot in the order, with Curt Flood batting 3rd. Tim McCarver hits cleanup. Charlie Smith in the 5 spot. George Kernick, represented here by the computer-only card, hits 6th. Julian Javier, 7th. Dal Maxfield will bat 8th, and Bob Gibson, the pitcher, bats 9th. For the Giants, it will be Dick Schofield leading off at shortstop. Kind of an interesting choice. His first start of the season, I believe. Tom Haller hits 2nd. Willie Mays, of course, bats 3rd with the Big Mac, Willie McCovey, hitting cleanup. Jim Ray Hart in the 5 spot. Orlando Cepeda hits 6th. And man, if that doesn't give you an idea of the depth of this Giant lineup, I don't know what does. Len Gabrielson will play today. They're trying to get more offense in there, it looks like, against Gibson. Lanier hits 8th. Hal Lanier, the second baseman, and Perry hits 9th. Let's set the Giants for you defensively. It's Haller behind the plate catching Perry. The infield, Willie McCovey at first, Hal Lanier at second, Dick Schofield at short, Jim Ray Hart at third, with an outfield from left to right of Cepeda, Mays, and Gabrielson. And welcome to Mike and Jack Brooks. Jack from a frozen but sunny Long Island. We're, like I said before, we're mid to high 30s and rain today. And hope everyone's afternoon is going well. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, I'm really excited about this pitching matchup. This could really be a good one. Gibson and Perry, 2 of the best. Okay, Perry's finished his warm-ups now. Lou Brock steps in from the left side. Brock comes into the game hitting .233, 1 home run, 7 RBIs. He's scored 5 runs from the leadoff spot. This is the Cardinals' 17th game of the season. Perry into the windup now. The pitch to Brock, a 5-6 to the left-hander. Fly ball into right field. That's playable for Gabrielson. He'll make the catch, and there's 1 away, and the ball game is underway. Ho ho! Pull up a chair. spend an hour or so with me. This figures to be a good one. Here's Alex Johnson now, excuse me. Johnson comes into the game at 281, 3 home runs and 9 RBIs. Both of those numbers lead the St. Louis Ball Club. St. Louis has had some trouble scoring. Perry, the windup, the pitch to Johnson. It's a 6-6 to the righty. Fly to left field. Cepeda's right there. So 2 fly balls, 2 outs. And here's Curt Flood. Flood comes in at just 169. He's 11 for 65, 1 home run, 5 runs batted in. Perry gets the sign from Haller now. Here's the windup. The pitch to Flood on a 2-7 to tapper to short. Schofield will take it. Over to McCovey, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Perry. After half an inning, Cardinals nothing, Giants coming to bat. Day game at Candlestick. Just over 31,000 in the park. A beautiful day at the Stick. And most of the day games were. The night games could get a bit chilly and windy. The day games could get windy too. But at least the sun's out today for the fans, and that's always nice. Schofield to lead it off for San Francisco. Let's take a look at him. He's only been in 3 ball games so far this year, 6 at bats. He's 0 for 6 with a walk, and I'm almost certain this is his first start. Gibson getting the sign now from McCarver. Here's the windup and the pitch to Schofield. 3-3 right-handed. He taps it down to first base. Kernick will take it himself. 1 away. Tom Haller, the catcher, batting in the 2 spot today. He comes into the game at 250, 15 for 60. No home runs, 2 runs batted in. Gibson into the windup now. The pitch to Haller. 6-10 to the left-hander. It's grounder to third base X. That'll be Charlie Smith, a 3-18. Smith ranges to his left. The roll on the play is a 13. That will be the error frequency. It's a 3 on an 18. This could be trouble, and he boots it. Oh my, error Charlie Smith. And Haller is aboard. So E5, error St. Louis. Haller no threat to run like most catchers. And here comes Willie Mays. Mays comes into the game at 319, leads the league in home runs with 7. And 15 runs batted in. And the Giants, this will be their 19th game of the season. Gibson now working from the stretch. Bob Gibson pitching to Willie Mays. 6-2 right-handed. Swung on and missed strike 3. High heat. And Mays just under it a bit. 2 down. Oh my, what a pitch by Gibson. And here's Big Mac now. Stretch McCovey hitting 317. Tied for second in the league with 6 home runs. He has 12 runs batted in. You bet he is, Kenyon. He's using the Valvoline synthetic today. He's going right for the good stuff. Gibson from the stretch. To McCovey. It's a 6-7 left-handed grounder to second base X. That's the smooth fielding Julian Javier, a 2E15. Whoops, we got to dice out. That's a reroll. It's going to be a 7. He makes the play and throws him out. So 4-3X, McCovey retired. No runs, no hits, 1 left on. There was an error. And we're scoreless through an inning. Just as many of you would expect, I'm sure. Perry getting ready to work the second. Okay, we're ready to go. Tim McCarver to lead it off. McCarver comes in leading the Cardinals in batting at 370. 2 home runs and 7 runs batted in. That is 17 for 46. He's played in 12 games of their 16 so far. Perry set now. Here's the windup and the pitch to McCarver. On a 4-7 left-handed, swung on and missed strike 3. So McCarver down on strikes, 1 down. And here's Charlie Smith. Charlie Smith made that error. He's hitting .359, second on the team in batting. 1 home run, 5 RBIs. Perry into the windup now. The pitch to Charlie Smith. A 4-2 right-handed, and he walks him. So a 1-out walk to Smith. Smith not a threat to run now, and here's Kernick. George Kernick, with this little computer-only card, comes into the game hitting .347. No home runs and only 1 RBI, but .347 out of a fairly nondescript computer-only card. So the Cardinals have gotten good mileage out of Kernick. Kernick now has 49 at-bats on the season. In real life, let's see what he had. Because I'm thinking we're close to seeing the end of Kernick. You have to wonder why he had a computer-only card. He only had 50 at-bats in real life. So yeah, he's about where he would be. He's close to his, he's got, what did I say he has? 49. So he's within 1 at-bat of his real life total. And it's only May 1st. Perry from the stretch now. 1 on, 1 away. Pitch to Kernick on a 2-10. Base hit into left field. It's an open single. Smith can try to go to third on that. Cepeda a +2, but left field, of course, subtracts 2, so Smith a 10. Will wisely hold up at second base. And the Cardinals have something going in the second. Runners at first and second, 1 down, and here's Julian Javier. Javier hitting just .136 on the season. No home runs, 3 RBIs. Perry now in a jam, working from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Javier. It's going to be a 6-8 base hit into center field. Once again, Smith can try to come around on that. Center field, however, is Mays, a -4, and he holds up. Smart move, because Mays has a cannon. But the bases are loaded with only 1 out. And here's Dal Maxville, the shortstop. Now, if you remember, Jerry Buchek started the first 11 games at short. He batted .351, 13 for 37, and was benched. Maxville's hit .273. He's been in 10 ball games, 6 for 22, no home runs, and 4 RBIs. He's standing up there now with the bases loaded and 1 out. The Giants at double play depth. Here's Perry's pitch to Maxwell. A 4-5, swung on and missed strike 3. Oh my goodness, what a clutch strikeout by Perry. The bottom fell out of that one. And when the bases loaded, that was exactly what Perry needed. And here's Gibson now. Gibson, a 3-hitter, right-handed. He does have end power. 3-hitter card, not one of his better hitting efforts, but it's still decent. Gibson was a pretty good hitting pitcher. Perry can use the pitcher to get out of this jam now. Bases loaded, 2 down. Here's Perry's pitch to Bob Gibson. It's a 5-2 right-handed, and he walks him to force in a run. Holy cow, what do you know about that? So everybody moves up. Smith in to score on the bases loaded walk. That'll be an RBI for Bob Gibson. Holy crap, it's 1-0 Cardinals. Perry not only walks the opposing pitcher, but he does it with the sacks full. And now here's Brock. Flew out to right his first time up. Brock standing in from the left side. Perry staring in now, trying to get out of this inning. Here's the pitch to Brock. 6-11 to the left-hander is a fly to right field X. That's going to be Gabrielson. A 4E16. And they had him in there for his bat, and this may come back to bite him. Here's the roll on the play. It's going to be a 19. That's a single 2 stars for Gabrielson. Sorry, for a Brock. Gabrielson can't get it. And 2 more runs will come in. Kernick will score. Javier will score. Gibson goes to third. on a 2-run single by Lou Brock, and it's 3-0 St. Louis. So just like that, the Cardinals hit Perry hard in the second. 3 hits in the inning so far, 3 runs across the plate, and here's Alex Johnson. Perry from the stretch now. The pitch to AJ, a 4-9 right-handed. That's a single, 1 star to third. Gibson will score. It's 4-0. Brock has to hold at second on that. An RBI for Johnson. It is 4-0 St. Louis. And Perry, who looked so sharp in the first, can't seem to find it here in the second. And here's Curt Flood now. Perry from the stretch. 1-6 to Flood, right-handed, pops him up left side. Schofield has it, and that will end the inning. But the Cardinals bat around in the second and plate 4 on 4 hits and leave a pair. And they take a 4-0 lead to the bottom of the inning. Well, Kenyon, maybe Perry should have used a higher grade of Vaseline today. Jim Ray Hart will lead it off for the Giants. Hart comes into the game 324, 5 home runs, 11 RBIs. This lineup is stacked. They can come back in this ballgame. It's very early still. Gibson into the course. Gibson's on the mound, so there's that. Gibson into the windup. The pitch to Hart, a 4-7 to the righty, and he walks him. Oh my goodness, not what you want to see if you're a Cards fan. You take a 4-run lead and immediately walk the first guy. And here's Orlando Cepeda. Cepeda hitting just .212, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. Gibson now working from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Cepeda. A 5-8 right-handed fly to right field that's playable for Lou Brock. Drifts to his left and makes the catch for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up Gabrielson. His defensive shortcomings cost the Giants at least 2 runs, probably 3. He's batting .208, 5 for 24, 1 home run, 1 RBI. He certainly like to make up for it at the plate. Gibson working from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Gabrielson. A .211 right-handed. Base hit into right field. That's an open single. Hart can try to go to third. Brock a +1. Hart to third, 13-15, +1, 16. He's headed to third. Giants will cut the throw off and hold Gabrielson to first. So runners at the corners, 1 out, and that'll bring up Hal Lanier, the second baseman. Lanier comes in at .216, no home runs, 2 RBIs. He does have 3 doubles and a triple, however. Infield at double play depth with 1 down. Gibson gets his sign from McCarver. Now the pitch. 5-7 to Lanier. Swung on and missed strike 3. High heat. Lanier swings right through it, 2 down, and that'll bring up Perry. Perry also a 3 hitting card, right-handed 3W, however, as opposed to Gibson's 3N. Gibson from the stretch. 4-6 to Perry. He struck him out. Gibson fans 2 with runners at the corners to get out of the inning, something Perry could not do in the top of the inning. We've played 2. It's St. Louis 4, Giants nothing. Perry getting ready to go to work in the third. It will be McCarver, followed by Smith and Kernack. Actually started the season in the IBA yesterday. Played my first 3 games. I have one of the 5 worst teams in the league playing most likely the best team in the league, and of course I lost 2 out of 3. Believe me, against that powerful club, I felt pretty good to win 1. Okay, here's McCarver now. He struck out against Perry his first time today. Perry into the windup. Pitched to McCarver, a 5-8 left-handed. That's a triple to 4 on a 10. He'll settle for a long single, and McCarver's aboard to lead off the 3rd. Here's Charlie Smith now. He walked in the 2nd. Perry trying to get it figured out here. Other than the first inning, he's looked pretty rough. From the stretch now, the pitch to Smith. 110 right-handed. Comebacker to the pitcher. He'll take it. Down to Schofield to McCovey, double play. 1-6-3, the runner is erased. And with 2 outs, Kernick will be the batter. Kernick singled in the singled in the 2nd rather. Came around to score. Perry into the windup. Pitch to Kernick, a 6-5 to the lefty. Grounder to shortstop X. That's going to be Schofield. A 3E56. And here's the roll on the play. On a 19, he's got it. Throws him out, and that will retire the side. So 6-3X, Kernick retired. No runs a hit, nobody left. And we go to the bottom of the 3rd, still 4-0 St. Louis. I have to say I don't have a particular rooting interest in this game. I just wanted to see a well-pitched ball game. So far, Perry's letting me down a little bit. I wouldn't mind seeing the Giants tighten it up in the National League standings either, but they're only 2.5 back. And, of course, the Cardinals at 4.5 back. They could get back in it. So, I mean, pick them, as the man said. Gibson ready to work the bottom of the 3rd. It'll be the top of the order for San Francisco. Schofield, Haller, and Mays. If anybody gets on, Big Mac, Stretch McCovey. Gibson into the windup now. The pitch to Schofield. That's a 1-9 right-handed comebacker. Gibson has it. Over to Kernick, 1 down. And here's Haller. Haller reached on an error in the 1st. Excuse me. Gibson into the windup now. The pitch to Tom Heller, a 5-10 left-handed fly ball into left field. That's playable for Johnson. He's right there to put it away, 2 down. And here comes Willie Mays. Gibson struck Mays out in the 1st. Mays standing in from the right side. Gibson into the big leg kick and windup. The pitch to Willie, a 1-8, single to 8 on a 4. That's going to be a base hit for Willie Mays. So Mays aboard with a 2-out single. There's some way to touch up. I wish there was some way to touch up the 4 on this dice. The paint's coming off there a little bit, but it is a 4. Let me ask the chat. Can you guys tell that it's a 4? Mays a 17 stealer, but not a star. Gibson -1, McCarver -1. And Willie McCovey will come to bat. Mays won't attempt to steal. You're not going to take the bat out of Stretch McCovey's hands. He takes his lead, 2 down. Gibson from the stretch now. Pitch to McCovey, a 3-5. Base hit into right field, an open single. Mays can try to go to 3rd on that. He's a 17 to right 19. The right fielder is Brock +1. They'll concede it. Throw is cut off. Mays into 3rd easily on the hit by McCovey. And that'll bring up Jim Ray Hart. Hart walked his first time up. Runners at the corners, 2 down. 4-0 at St. Louis. This is a big at bat for Hart. Gibson trying to shut the door on this inning from the stretch now. It's a 1-9 tapper to short. Maxville has it. He'll go the short way to Javier, and that will end the inning. No runs, 2 hits. They strand 2. We've played 3 here at the Stick. It's Cardinals 4, Giants nothing. Right, Kenyon? Well, maybe he'll settle down. Still very early in this game. Only 3 innings in the books. It'll be the bottom of the order for St. Louis. Julian Javier to lead it off. He singled against Perry his first time up, came around to score. Perry, the sign from Howler now. Here's the pitch. 6-6 right-handed, fly to left field. Cepeda barely has to move, and he makes the catch one away. So they had Javier positioned almost perfectly, and here's Dal Maxville now. Maxville K'd his first time up. Perry into the windup. Pitch to Maxville. 4-6 right-handed, swung on and missed strike 3. And Perry looking much better in the 4th. And here's Gibson. The 2-out walk to Gibson really opened the floodgates in the 2nd. Perry ready to work now. Here's the pitch to Gibson. 3-5, tapper down to 3rd. Hart has it, throws him out, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Gaylord Perry. Still 4-0 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. It'll be Cepeda, Gabrielson, and Lanier for San Francisco. Okay, Gibson ready to go to work now. Cepeda, right-handed batter. Soon to be a Giant. May 8th, I think, was the day of the trade. Gibson into the windup. Pitch to Cepeda. 1-9 right-handed comebacker. Gibson's got it. Over to Kernick, 1 down. Here's Gabrielson now. He singled his first time up. Gibson into the windup. Pitch to Len Gabrielson on a 2-2. A liner speared by Javier. And there's 2 away quickly in the 4th. And here's Lanier now. Hal Lanier struck out his first time up today. Gibson, the full windup, and the pitch to Lanier is a 6-3 right-handed. Tapper down to 3rd. Smith has it. Long throw across, gets him. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Bob Gibson. After 4 complete, 4-0 St. Louis. Top of the order due for the Cards. Brock to lead things off. He's 1 for 2. Drove in 2 with a single in the 2nd. Perry gets his sign from Howler now. Here's the windup and the pitch to Brock. That's a 1-9 right-handed. He struck him out. Brock down swinging. 1 down, and here's Alex Johnson. Perry into the windup now. The pitch to Johnson. 4-5 right-handed. Swung on and missed strike 3. And man, this is a different Perry the last couple innings now. And here's Kurt Flood, 0 for 2 today. Perry gets the sign from Howler. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. 4-10 right-handed. Ground ball to 3rd. Hart has it. Makes the play for the out, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Perry, who's now retired 8 in a row. So Perry's settled down. But his team trails by 4 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Perry will lead off the bottom of the 5th. Too early to take him out. Nowadays he would, absolutely. In today's game, this would be automatic pinch hitter, right? Not so much in 1966. Right-handed batter. Here's Gibson's pitch on a 6-3, tapper to third. Smith has it. Throws him out, 1 down. And that'll bring up Schofield. Switch hitter batting left. 0 for 2 today. 212, he hits him. Holy crap. Schofield must have been crowding the plate, which we know Gibson does not like. And he drilled him. Schofield, as he jogs down to first, won't even glance at Gibson. He knows better. And here's Tom Haller. Haller 0 for 2 today. Gibson working from the stretch now. The pitch to Haller. 1-9 right-handed. That's a base hit, 2 stars into right field. Schofield will round and hit into third. And the Giants have something going in the bottom of the 5th. Runners at the corners, 1 down, and Willie Mays coming to plate. Boy, they've got the right guys up, that's for sure. Mays, McCovey. If anybody gets on, Hart. Cardinals, with 1 down, will play at double play depth. Looking at his ground ball A's. Yeah, he's got a few. Gibson from the stretch now. The pitch to Willie Mays. That's a 3-5 comebacker. That's going to be a force play. Gibson has it. He goes down to Javier, and that's all they'll get. So a 1-4-4. Schofield will come in to score on that. And that'll be an RBI for Mays. But the Giants get a run, 4-1 now, 2 down, and here's McCovey. McCovey 1 for 2. Gibson getting a sign from the stretch. The pitch to Willie McCovey. 5-7 left-handed, swung on and missed, strike 3. Oh my God, for Gibson now. 4? That's only his 4th K of the game. The Giants get a run and 1 hit. They leave 1. We've played 5. It's 4-1 St. Louis. McCarver, Smith, and Kernick due for St. Louis. McCarver 1 for 2. Perry gets a sign from Haller. Here's the pitch. 3-10 right-handed. Pops him up left side. Schofield. He'll take it, 1 down. Charlie Smith will be the batter now. 0 for 1 with a walk. Perry into his windup. Pitch to Smith, a 6-7 right-handed grounder to second base X. That's Lanier. 2-8. About as steady as she comes there. The rule on the play in 18. Lanier has it cleanly over to McCovey, 2 down. So Smith retired. 4-3X. And with 2 away, George Kernick will be the hitter. Kernick's 1 for 2 today. Perry into the windup. Here's the pitch. It's going to be a 5-11 left-handed, and that's a base hit into left field. Kernick strokes it into left for a 2-out single. And Kernick's 2 for 3 today. Boy, the Cardinals will miss that Kernick. I assume something happens to him because he only had 50 at-bats in real life and a computer-only card. So here's Javier now, 1 for 2. Karnik taking a lead from first. Perry from the stretch. Pitch to Julian, a 6'10 right-handed. A tapper right down to first. McCovey will take it himself. And that will do it. Nothing doing for the Cards in the 6th. Gibson getting ready to work the bottom of the 6th. It will be Hart, Cepeda, and Gabrielson for the Giants. Jim Ray Hart 0 for 1 with a walk so far this game. Gibson into the windup. Pitch to Hart now. 6'10 right-handed. Tapper to third base X. That's Smith, the 3E18. Here's the roll on the play. It's a 2. He's not going to get that. That'll be a base hit. That would have been a tough play for anyone, and Hart's aboard with a single. So a leadoff single for Jim Ray Hart, and the batter will be Len Gabrielson. No, I'm sorry, it'll be Orlando Cepeda. What am I saying? Again, yeah, I can't read my own. Orlando Cepeda's the batter. 1 on, nobody out. Gibson from the stretch now. Oh, thank you, Kenyon. Here's the pitch to Cepeda. That's a 5'10 right-handed. Grounder to short, that's going to be 2. Maxville has it. Underhands to Javier to Karnik. Double play. 6-4-3. The runner is erased. And now Len Gabrielson will come to the plate. Left-handed hitter, 1 for 2 today. And here's the pitch to Gabrielson. 2-6 right-handed. Pops him up right side. Javier calling. That'll do it. We're through 6. It's 4-1 Cardinals. And greetings, Ron, and welcome. Ron's for the Cardinals. It's hard not to be for Bob Gibson, isn't it? What a legendary pitcher. Gaylord Perry was a great pitcher, but I mean Gibson was almost at another level. And thanks for your confirmation, Mike C. Yeah, the trade for Cepeda on May the 8th. Cepeda for Sadecki. Mike also points out that Karnik was a career minor leaguer. He played some in 65 and 66. We move to the 7th. Maxville will lead it off for St. Louis. He struck out both times today against Perry. Perry, the sign from Haller now. Pitch to Maxville on a 5-8. Double to 1 on an 18. Maxville will settle for a long single, and Dow Maxville's aboard to lead off the 7th. Perry a -3. Haller a 0. He'd be a 17, but with such a minuscule chance for the lead, he has almost as much chance of being picked off. Gibson and A. Bunner, however, that'll force the Giants to bring the infield in, and he's going to lay it down as a B. Here it is, 11 on a B. He pops it up. McCovey's calling for it. He's got it. So Gibson pops up the bunt, and there's one away. That'll bring up Brock. Brock 1 for 3, 2 RBIs. Perry from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Brock now. 3-3 against the righty. Single into left field. Maxville could try to go to third on that. Cepeda's a +2. Maxville a 13, -2 to left, +2 cancels out. He is a 13. With 1 out, he's going, and they're going to throw. He's headed to third, and he's out. Cepeda throws him out at third. Can you believe it? Brock will take second on the throw. 2 away now. Most likely would not have tried that were they not already leading by 3 runs. Seemed like a worthwhile gamble with 1 out. I also would not have tried it with 0 or 2 out. And the theory being there, of course, you never make the first or the third out of an inning at third base. So they still have a chance with Brock and his speed in scoring position, and here's Alex Johnson 1 for 3. I have, Kenyon. He told me basically to get off my mound. Oh, I love that. The only thing you know about pitching is that you can't hit it. That's hilarious. Perry ready to work to Johnson now. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a 6-6 to the right-hander. Fly to left, playable for Cepeda, and that's going to do it. So no runs, 2 hits, they leave 1. We go to the stretch. Cardinals 4, Giants 1. I'm going to take a moment and refill my coffee. And I'll be right back. And we're back. Yeah, Gibson would tell catchers, get off my mound. You just get back down. You get back there and put the fingers down. I'll take care of the pitching. To the bottom of the 7th we go. Lanier, the pitchers, Spot and Schofield. Gibson ready to work now into the windup. The pitch to Hal Lanier. 5-7 right-handed, swung on and missed. Strike 3, 1 down. And now the Giants will send up a pinch hitter for Gaylord Perry. So Perry's day is through. He pitches 7. Surrendered 8 hits, 4 runs. It appears that all of them are earned. He walked a pair. See, I keep forgetting to write that in before the game. Sorry for that interruption, guys. The phone rang. Sorry about that. The phone rang. Can anyone hear me now? Unknown forking advertising call. Have you updated your social security records lately or some bullshit like that? Thanks for nothing, I say. Lindy McDaniel will be getting loose in the Giant bullpen. Right now they'll send up a batter. They used Landrum in real life. Cap Peterson could play. Landrum will work. He's a left-handed hitter. So Don Landrum coming on here in the 7th with 1 out to bat for Gaylord Perry. Gibson into the windup. His pitch to the left-hander. That's a 4-10. Fly to center field X. That'll be Flood. Flood, a 1E0 in center, making the dice roll just a formality. On a 4, Flood races into the gap, leaps, and makes an incredible web gem catch for the out. Oh my God, can that Flood play some center field or what? 8X exclamation. That's a web gem, and that's the 2nd out of the inning. And here's Schofield. 0 for 2. He was drilled by Gibson in the 5th. Schofield standing a little further from the plate this time up. As Gibson comes set. The pitch is a 4-8 swung on and missed, strike 3. 2 more Ks for Gibson, a 1-2-3 inning. And Gibson absolutely dominant through 7 today. We've played 7. It's Cardinals 4, Giants 1. And here's Lindy McDaniel now. He'll come on and pitch for the Giants. McDaniel, a good card. The results haven't been so great this year. He's been in 6 ball games, and he's 0-2 with an ERA of 9 over 8 innings of work. With a 2.66 ERA on the card and 122 innings of relief, you best believe we're going to keep running him out there. Eventually, he has to get it right. It'll be Flood, McCarver, and Smith for the Cardinals here in the 8th. If anybody gets on, Kernick, and you know I'd love to see that. McDaniel into the windup now. Pitch to Flood. That's a 4-9 right-handed. It's a grounder to short X. That's going to be Schofield, 3E56. And here's the roll on the play. On a 9, that will be the E rating. It's a 9, and he boots it, not surprisingly. E6, Flood is aboard. The Giants' first error of the ball game. Flood a star 15. McDaniel a -1. Heller a 0. That would make Flood a 14. They'll have to hold him on, making him a 1 through 12. And Tim McCarver will come to bat. McCarver 1 for 3. McDaniel gets the sign. Pitch to McCarver, a 2-2 right-handed liner to second base, back to first, double play. McCarver a line out to the max. L4DP. 2 down, and it will be up to Charlie Smith in the 8th. Smith 0 for 2 with a walk. McDaniel the windup. Pitch to Charlie, a 2-5, struck him out. So down go the Cardinals in the 8th. Defensively, they look good. I would have probably replaced Kernick had he come up. Put Tolan's 4E8 out there. Slightly better than Kernick's 3E26. But for now, Kernick will stay because he's due to lead off the next inning. If there was a huge difference, I'd probably do it anyway. But 3E26 to a 4E8. Yeah, the 4E8's better, but not significantly better. It'll be Haller, Mays, and McCovey here for the Giants. Gibson, an S9, of course. He can smell it. As Haller steps in, he's 1 for 3 today. Gibson the windup. pitch to Haller. That's a 6-9 left-handed. Swung on and missed strike 3. And what is that now? Let's better start counting them. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 7 for Gibson. And that'll bring up Willie Mays. Willie's 1 for 3 today for the Say Hey Kid. Gibson. Bob Gibson versus Willie Mays. Holy crap, isn't this why we play Strat-O-Matic? For moments like this. Gibson into the windup. It's a 2-6 right-handed triple to 4. On a 10, he's going to have extra bases. Mays in standing with a 1-out double. Let's take another look at that. 2-6 to 4 rolls a 10. Mays has himself a double. And here's Stretch McCovey. McCovey 1 for 3 today. Gibson gets his sign from McCarver. Full leg kick and windup now. He doesn't care about the runner at second. Pitch to McCovey, a 4-10, fly to left field X. That'll be Johnson. Johnson a 4E13. That's the guy I should have pulled out. 4E13. The rule on the play is a 19, and that'll be a single 2 stars. Mays will score. Johnson can't get to it. It's an RBI single for McCovey. And we've got a 4-2 ball game. And here comes Jim Ray Hart. San Francisco trying to get back into this game, but they're running out of time. McCarver starts to go to the mound, and Gibson points at him, and he thinks better of it. And goes back behind the plate and gets into his crouch. Now flashing the signs. Yeah, they pitched to Hart. That's a 4-3 right-handed grounder to first X. That'll be Kernick. Well, this comes into play right away, a 3E26. And here's the play. On a 15, it's the E rating. It's a 3 out of 26. That's going to be trouble. It's a 2-base error by Kernick. Holy crap. So E3, Hart to second, McCovey to third, and now the tying runs are in scoring position with 1 out. Error Kernick. I apologize. I was looking to Cardinals fans, I should say. I apologize. I was looking at Kernick. Alex Johnson's the guy I should have replaced. And here's Cepeda. 1 out, they'll pull the infield in. Gibson the windup. The pitch to Orlando Cepeda on a 3-9. Struck him out. That's 8. And here's Gabrielson. Gabrielson 1 for 3. Infield back. 2 down. Gibson into the windup. And here's the pitch on a 5-7. Swung on and missed strike 3. And what do you know? Gibson strikes out the side. The Giants get a run on 2 hits. They leave the tying runs in scoring position. It's a 4-2 ball game headed to the 9th. McDaniel will come out for his second inning of work. And we'll make the appropriate changes for St. Louis after this half inning. Kernick will lead it off. He's 2 for 3 today. McDaniel gets the sign from Howard. Kernick on a 1-7 fly to right field. Gabrielson barely has to move. He'll take it 1 away. Up comes Javier now, 1 for 3 on the day. McDaniel with the pitch. To Javier, a 1-8 right-handed base hit into center. Julian Javier with a 1-out single. He's a star 16. Minus 115, he'll have to be held on, which would make him a 1-13. I should just start saying 13. You guys know what it is. Here's Maxville, 1 for 3. Right-handed batter. McDaniel from the stretch. It's a 5-5 to the righty. Grounder to third. That'll be a force play. Hart to Lanier to first, not in time. So a 5-4 force. 2 away, and Gibson, of course, is going to bat. Boy, he did, Kenyon. He was what you call a workhorse reliever, I suppose. Bob Gibson standing in from the right side. Here's McDaniel's pitch. It's a 3-5, grounder to third. Hart has it, throws him out, and that'll do it. No runs, a hit, 1 left. And we'll have some changes for St. Louis. Bobby Tolan will come in at first base. With his 4.8. Mike Shannon will take over in left. Actually, Shannon will take over for Johnson, but he'll play right. Brock will move to left. Shannon at 2E5 -2. Brock slides over to left where his 3E20 +1 is slightly more palatable. So defensive changes for St. Louis. As we go to the bottom of the ninth, I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody for hanging out with me this afternoon. I appreciate it. The Giants will have Lanier, the pitcher's spot, and Schofield. We might have a hitter for Schofield. Lanier 0 for 3. Gibson into the windup. Now here's the pitch to Lanier. 4-8. Swung on and missed strike 3. That's 3 in a row. And now we'll have a batter for McDaniel. Let's see what we've got. They need base runners. Jesus Alou is grabbing a bat. So here he comes. Jesus Alou is going to bat for McDaniel here in the bottom of the ninth with 1 out. Alou on the season, on the replay, only 167, 10 for 60. No homers, 4 RBIs. Gibson, the sign from McCarver. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch to Alou on a 1-7. Fly to left. That's playable for Brock. Brock's in left now, and he makes the catch. And the Giants are down to their last out. Let's see if they have anything better than Schofield. He does have some on base. They need base runners. Yeah, he's not. I don't think Fuentes is any better. Ollie Brown might be, but he's a right-handed hitter, so you have to factor that in. No, I think there's no real reason to change from Schofield here. So it's up to Schofield. 2 outs in the ninth in a 4-2 ball game. Gibson looking to nail it down. Gets his sign from McCarver. Here's the pitch to Schofield. 1-7. Struck him out. And that's the game. His 10th strike. His 11th strikeout of the game, excuse me. One, two, three go the Giants. Bob Gibson, a legendary pitcher with a performance to back it up. Gibson with the win improves to 3-1. Perry with the loss drops to 1-1. Gibson gave up 7 hits, 2 runs. He walked only 1, hit a batter, of course, and fanned 11. So a dominating performance by Bob Gibson. McDaniel in his 2 innings of work, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and a K. So your totals on the game for the Cardinals: 4 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. The Giants: 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. Chief Spokane player of the game. Kurt, I'm in total agreement with you. It could be none other than Bob Gibson. So the Cardinals improved to 8-9. The Giants, the surprising 10-9. I wonder what they were in real life at that point. We can look at that. Well, it won't update. It's not updated yet. They came into the game 10-8. In real life, they were 11-7, so they're not that far off. The Cardinals came in 7-9. In real life, they were 7-9, so they had the exact record they did in real life. Tomorrow, Friday, I think we've got a doubleheader. I may try to play it as a doubleheader. Let's see, checking the schedule. It's the last thing on the schedule for May 1st. It is a doubleheader. It's Minnesota Twins at Washington Senators. The Twins tied for first. I think they're tied for first in the American League. Let's check that. No, they're behind Baltimore now. The Orioles are in first, a half a game ahead of the Twins and the Indians. Kansas City is surprising 500. Pitchers in Game 1 are going to be Jim Cott for the Twins, Pete Rickert for the Senators. 2 left-handers. So that has promise. I'll start it at 1 o'clock, and depending how I feel, I may make that a doubleheader tomorrow. We'll have to see. In the meantime, I want to thank you guys once again for hanging out with me. I do appreciate it. Take care and have a wonderful evening, guys. Thanks again.